Yeah. Is that seeing where you want? Okay. I appreciate you coming.
No problem.
I'm going to read you your Garrity rights, or give you the Garrity rights form, just so, are you aware of what Garrity rights are and everything works? So if you're aware of that, just go ahead and, if you want to read it or go for it, not, whatever, just sign it. She's so loud.
Yeah, I can do it.
If you don't mind, I'm going to shut this door
No
out
problem.
for our privacy.
Let's see, what's the date?
She's got like a megaphone on her. Alright, thanks. That's AM.
Oh,
right?
shit. Yes, and I
Okay.
said AM in my head.
So to make sure, it's been a long couple of days, but I was like, man, I don't think it's been that long.
No.
Man, if it's AM or if it's PM now, I missed the whole day somewhere.
I've had days where I've missed the whole day.
I have to, believe me. Especially here lately, it's been like, what the hell am I doing?
I know.
So you know why you're here, right?
Well, not really.
The whole thing with what have you heard? Let me ask you this. Going back to everything, have you talked to Jimmy since all this has been
I
going
have.
on?
I found out about this shooting thing through Facebook.
Yeah.
That's how I discovered it, because I don't talk to him a lot.
Right.
I don't go to the department.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on maternity leave.
Well, congrats.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
It's in there. It's
Very
about 4
cool.
months.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. So, of course, I had many questions like, what the fuck?
Right, absolutely.
How does, because I'm a question kind of person, so I'm like, well, why did you go in there? If there's a guy dead and one in there still robbing the place, and there's a lady in there who's whatever,
Right.
like, why aren't you waiting for, fuck, I'd call SWAT.
Absolutely.
I'm not going in there.
Well, yeah, you got somebody barricaded in there,
And
basically.
someone's already dead. You've been
Right.
told that by what is supposed to be a credible witness that someone's dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going in there.
Yeah.
You know, so why'd you go in there? And then he said that he was in a hallway, there was a low counter, he saw a shadow, so he lifted his gun up. So then I'm like, because I interview people, I'm like, how does that happen? Was he facing the counter? So in my mind, I'm trying to, because I know he's using his left hand, because his right, I think, finger or something got cut off or something. I'm like, if there's a counter in your forearm hitting that, I mean, are you facing it? And I'm like,
Right.
So I have a million questions. And then I'm like, okay, so you guys pink slipped her, right? Once you realize this is just a bunch of bullshit,
Right.
you pink slipped her. Well, no, voluntarily. Oh. Yeah, so, I mean, and I've known Jimmy for 18 years,
Yeah.
so I have the liberty of being able to talk to him like that, unless it's like official, I'm sitting across from the chief
Sure.
type thing. So these are the things that I'm asking him, and he says, well, they're upset because I hadn't been cleared. My doctor cleared me, but the village hadn't cleared me. But, what do you do? Just send your guys in, by themselves? And I'm like, well, I wouldn't have went in. I wouldn't have sent anybody in.
Right.
I'd have waited.
Yeah, probably wait and say, hey, if something like that's happening, just kind of maybe set a perimeter up and you go
Yeah.
from there. But,
Yeah.
I guess
Well,
hindsight, but
And Peggy called me yesterday. I haven't spoken to Peggy in years.
yeah. Well, yeah, I had Peggy call you because I've left a couple, made a couple phone calls there, but to your phone, and so did my deputy chief. But I don't know if it was a message thing or if we had a wrong number or if she had something, because she called and got a hold of you pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I haven't got anything because I would have most definitely called you back.
Yeah, sure.
Sometimes I don't answer numbers I don't know, but
Right.
if there's a message, obviously I check it.
Yeah.
So yeah, when she told me to come in, I'm like, what in the world? So I called Jimmy
Absolutely.
yesterday.
I
I'm
would
like,
too.
what the fuck's going on, dude?
Yeah.
I don't.
What do you say?
I don't know nothing about your thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, I have no idea why they'd be calling you in there. You're not even involved in this shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, All I know is what you've told me and what
Right.
I've read on social media or
Gotcha.
on the TV.
Okay.
I mean, I know nothing. You know, him telling me the description of what supposedly happened.
Yeah.
And then it came to play, because he called me this morning while I was getting ready, and I didn't answer it, but I knew it was him because it was no caller ID.
Mm-hmm.
But my son started doing that yesterday, tricking me when he was fishing, so I texted my son first. I said, did you just call me? He said, no, because they're on the way to Margaret Beach.
Mm-hmm.
So then I knew it was Jimmy. So on my way here, I called him, and he said that he spoke to his attorney,
Mm-hmm.
and his attorney thinks that it's about something to do with padding timesheets or
Mm-hmm.
something. So I'm like, well, I ain't even been there, so I ain't worried about that. I'm not worried about anything.
Yeah, and,
So-
and you don't, and you have nothing to worry
No,
about.
I don't.
And you really don't. And the reason why I want to make sure I read you your guarantee rights too is just because if we do uncover something and you might have some, you know what I mean? I don't want
Right.
that to be something that's held against you, or you
Right.
know, if there's anything criminal going on, I don't want you to be exposed to that.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this is to protect you.
Correct.
All right. So you know, and yeah, that kind of came to our attention that there may be some padding of the numbers.
Okay.
And you know, obviously you can't do that.
Right.
You know, you can't pad numbers and submit it to city council as an official document. You know, that's
Correct.
you can't do that stuff. So, but I was going through and I noticed some of the things that looked a little off, you know, with the numbers and stuff. And so that's why I'm trying to call everybody and get them in and talk to
Okay.
them about the numbers.
Sure.
You know, so you said you haven't been there in a while.
I haven't been there for quite some time. Matter of fact, it's been well over 2 years since I've even been paid. To give you an exact date, I don't know.
Okay.
But
That's being
possibly
paid.
even 3
Right.
years. Yes.
What
even
about
maybe.
putting in any volunteer time in?
I've put in volunteer time. Now there was a few months that I didn't put in all the time
Mhm.
because I was going through a shitty ass divorce.
Sure.
My ex-husband popped a bogus CPO on me.
So you
Of
couldn't
course, that was found to be untrue. Lincoln County Sheriff's Department's had my guns
Right.
for
So you couldn't work because of that.
correct.
Right.
Correct. Couldn't work on the road. Now, during that time, I did go in because I had a case at the lighthouse, big house across the road from the department.
Yeah.
I felt like I could still do those kind of things, but I could not be in a cruiser. I could not hold my gun, that type of thing.
Right.
But when that CPO was named, my ex put my 2 kids in it.
Mm.
I was a freaking wreck.
Yeah,
I
sure.
wasn't going out to Buckeye Lake to work.
And when was that?
That was last year. That was, I believe our divorce was final August 29th,
Okay.
and he filed the CPO on me before that.
Okay.
Because we were going to just do an annulment.
Right.
That was our plan. And when he filed the CPO, while that was on me, he went and filed for divorce and named my kids in it.
That's kind of.
Took the house, took the children. Of course, they knew, I think, right off the rip that there was something because I got served a CPO on like a Thursday evening, and I picked my children up Friday at 6 o'clock. So, like, that's a long ass story.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
I mean, if I threatened to shoot you and kill myself and you heard me rack my gun,
Yeah.
why would you leave my kids with me
Right.
and leave and then file a report or file a CPO 6 months later?
And you say that was when?
That was, let's see, July, maybe early August. I'm not very good with dates.
That's okay. So say let's say July to August, what,
Yeah.
17?
Yeah. And I believe my divorce was final August 29th.
All right. So when's the last time you actually spent a day working over at Buckeye Lake?
4th of July.
So 4th of July was the last day you worked? Okay. Any time before that or anything?
Yeah, I'd go in intermittently. Anytime. I'd take the kids to school and go in.
Okay.
Work on any type of cases that may, be about, do, O-leg things.
How do you keep track of your logs, or like how do you keep track of?
I don't even write
there?
I don't even write it in there. Now, when I was a paid officer, we had just white timesheet cards. I would write, whatever day, 8 hours, because I normally work like a Saturday would be like 9 hours, and a Sunday would be 8 hours.
Okay.
So like 8 to 5 and a 8 to 4.
Gotcha.
And I would keep track of those. But when it came to auxiliary, that was Jeff Vermilion's job.
Okay.
He wrote our hours in. I've never wrote hours down for myself as far as an auxiliary unit, ever.
Okay.
I don't even know where they go. When I was paid, I did.
A lot of guys they put on the top of their call log, they'll put like, let's say Ritter, and then slash, whoever was with them.
Oh, well, I have call logs, but I only did call logs if I was in a cruiser.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I signed my name.
And when's the last time you were in a
mileage.
cruiser?
4th of July.
Okay. So you actually worked the street on the 4th of July of 17, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So you had you were full blown, you had your gun, all that stuff, right? Because that was settled, or before that, right?
Yep.
Okay. Have you worked? You haven't worked since 4th of July at all?
No.
Of 2017.
Correct.
Okay.
I take that back because I had training at Millersport, and then that was like supposed to have been like a long day, but we were having some trouble with the live stream with the webinar.
Okay.
So we got out of there a little bit early.
And that was in 2017, right?
Yes.
Do you remember which month that was?
No,
Okay.
I don't.
Was it cold out?
It was, honestly, I don't believe I had my guns.
Okay.
But that's just me trying to.
Sure, get it in your head.
I'm horrible at this kind of stuff.
What kind of training was it?
It was, gosh. I think it was just how to handle, public communications type thing.
Who put it on?
Pataskala PD, or Millersport PD.
Okay. Okay.
And then from there, I had radar at Buckeye Lake.
Okay.
And then I believe it was maybe this was all in the same day or the same week, but I also went to Hebron PD for taser.
Who from your department was with you?
At Hebron?
Every place. Millersport, Buckeye Lake for the radar.
At Millersport, it was Jeff Hawes. There was another gentleman there that I don't really know very well that apparently does records for us or something. I don't know.
That works for Buckeye Lake?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I want to say his name's Tim, but I can't be 100%.
Okay.
The old man.
Well, the old mayor?
Yes,
Yeah.
he was there.
Okay.
I believe that was it from our department at Millersport.
Okay.
At Buckeye Lake, it was pretty much everyone for radar.
Okay.
And then for taser, it was everyone, me, Jeff, Jimmy. It was everybody.
About Ritter?
Yes, Ritter was there.
Okay. All right. What about qualifying? When was the last time you qualified in handguns?
This past year, 2000s. Well, actually, I think it was. Gosh, it may have been this year that we've already qualified. It was this year or end of last year,
Okay.
and that was no issue, qualifying. And when we went at that point, I had to work. So the first day, I went 2 different times. I went once, which was, I believe, all the departments shot except for Jimmy, the old mayor, Jim Bartow.
Bartow, yeah.
Those 2 didn't qualify with us.
Why was that?
I don't know. I haven't qualified with them for a long time. The last time I qualified with Jimmy was at Newark's firing range.
Okay.
So a couple years ago. I think him and Jeff do that on their own or something.
Gotcha.
And then I went back, I think the following weekend, and did my rifle and my AR and
Okay.
that kind of thing. And that was, Jimmy was there. He didn't participate. Vermillion. It was a new kid that ended up leaving and going to Hebron.
Yeah.
Gosh, I think there was us. Another guy that works for the government, I believe. I can't. Is his name? No, his name ain't Jeff too. Some of them are just in and out, and I don't really know all of them, but I know them.
Okay.
There was a few of us there when I went back for that.
Okay. How long have you been with Buckeye Lake?
Since January the 8th of 2003.
Okay.
I left them for a while.
Where'd you go?
Hebron.
Okay. How long's a while?
I believe I left them in 2007.
Okay. And you were paid up until when? When did you start getting paid?
I was an A unit for quite some time. I don't remember the dates of getting paid.
Okay.
I was paid for quite some time. And then stopped being paid 2 to 3 years ago.
Okay.
I had applied for the position. There was a third shift position that was opening up. Me and Ritter both applied for it. And I didn't get it because they didn't feel like that I would write enough DUIs. So.
Okay.
They know I'm not a road cop.
Right.
I don't feel like I need to sit and pull everything that moves over. There's more to my job than that. I mean, I'm not
Absolutely.
against writing a ticket.
No, I'm 100% with you on that. You know,
but at the same time, it's like if you're not writing tickets, then you're not doing your job.
Right.
So.
I get that. Trust me. So when you got hired full time there, did they issue you guys anything for full time, or did you have to get your own stuff? Like, did you have to do all your own gear? They have gear for you. Did they issue?
I have all my own. My guns are mine.
Okay.
My duty belt's mine. I did get like a monthly, or not a monthly, a yearly clothing allowance, which was, gosh, I want to say like $140
For
or
the year?
120. Yeah, that's it. $125, which doesn't buy anything.
Right.
You know, my cross pants and shit is $50,
Right.
$55. So,
Yeah, you're not gonna buy anything for that
no,
much money.
I mean, I bought most of my stuff on my own.
Do they ever issue anything to the full-time guys? Any duty belts, guns, hats, batons, anything like that?
Never,
They never have?
never. I've never received anything.
Okay.
Maybe
No.
a pen from the department.
Yeah, so they're not coming off of anything, huh?
No.
Okay. All right.
I mean, there's things in our cruiser, like we have a Remington. You know, we have a shotgun in the
Yes.
cruiser. It's not mine, but it's at my disposal.
Right.
But as far as handcuffs, anything on my rig is all mine.
Okay.
I have.
And that goes for everybody, right? I mean, everybody's got to pay for their own stuff.
Yeah, as far as I know, nobody's getting anything.
Gotcha.
I mean, if they are, it's unbeknownst to me.
Right.
I mean, my boots, my vest, I'm like one of the only ones that wear a vest.
Yeah. That seems stupid
I
in this day and age.
put a
I
fucking
mean,
police shirt on and
Right.
a vest underneath it.
yeah, you better have something to protect you.
So,
Jeez.
yeah, I mean, I've never received anything
Okay.
at all. Not even supplies, technically. Like, here's your box of pens for the year.
Right. It's like a tough place to work sometimes.
Buckeye Lake's been rough, and it's
Yeah.
it's a shithole.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of low income.
It's a mix of, very
It is.
diverse
It
people.
is,
that's for
because you
sure.
have a lot of really good people out there.
Yeah.
You really do.
I talked to a few people that work there now or have worked there in the past too, and your name came up a couple times, not really in a negative way per se, but they've said that they haven't seen you in like a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, well, I'm there. I'm not in a cruiser always, but I'm there.
Okay.
You know.
Is there anybody you check in with, or that?
Jimmy.
Okay.
Yeah, Jimmy usually knows. I always let him know if I'm going to be out or whatever.
Right.
Because one time I couldn't even get my key to work, so I called him to see if they had changed the locks. He said no.
So you just put time in the office
Mhm.
when you go?
Yeah.
You're not getting in a cruiser anymore
No,
or anything like that?
There was a lot that I didn't get in the cruiser,
Okay.
especially when all this stuff was going on with my divorce.
Yeah.
I didn't.
So what would you primarily do?
But
when you went to-
Jimmy knew that, if I wasn't working. I never wrote down anything if I didn't work. I didn't write it down anything if I did work.
Mhm.
So whoever's responsible for that, which I believe is Jeff Vermillion, I don't know.
Which doesn't work there anymore.
I just found that out yesterday too. I had no clue.
Right.
There's so much about that department I don't know. And honestly, I stay away a lot.
Yeah.
Especially now that I'm pregnant, I try not to ever go in there
Mhm.
because I don't want to get caught up in the crap.
What kind of crap?
It's just a bunch of crap. This is crap. I mean, I don't.
And I'm not asking you
I
to
don't
come in
have
here and just
any-
start steamrolling people, but obviously, you're here because,
Right.
with everything's going on and it just keeps kind of snowballing,
I know.
and I want to make sure that everybody's covered here and, everybody's got a fair shot at saying what's going on and, again, it's to protect you,
Right.
make sure I know, I can give a fair report back, and they can do what they want. you know, over there. I know there's some beef between the mayor and the chief,
And
and the
that's what,
chief and the mayor,
I think
and,
that's a lot of what it is.
you know, that's not,
And it
not-
goes back, I think, way before my time.
sure, and that's not my beef. You know, I have, you know,
But their beef,
no
I
horse,
think, is,
no horse in the race
is
here.
rolling down.
Right, but I wanna make sure that I get to the bottom of what's going on, and
Right,
unfortunately, the more I dig, the more things kind of seem to keep coming up.
okay.
You know, so, and that was been one of them was, you know, was your hours that you put in.
Okay,
Just because nobody has seen you there.
right.
Everybody I talk to, they're like, we don't have a clue where she's at. We don't see her, you know, we don't do anything. So, you know, I wanted to give you an opportunity to come in and explain it to me
Right.
too, why
Sure.
sometimes the times are saying that you're there, sometimes there's gaps saying you're not there, and there's times where they said there's no way that she was here. No way during this time that she was here. I know that she wasn't there. You know, so I want to make sure that we're all on the same track, and on the same page, or on the same place. So, and that's why I asked you when exactly the last time you worked. But so July 4th of 2017 is the last time you actually worked a day there,
Yes,
besides qualifying.
correct.
Is that right?
Correct.
So the trainings in here were before July 4th?
No, they were after.
Okay.
They were after, but as far as being,
Worked the street.
yes, as far as being in my uniform with my rig on,
Gotcha.
in a complete police capacity,
I gotcha.
that anyone could look at me and go, she's a cop,
Okay.
that would have been the last day.
So when's the last time you actually worked on anything else? And let me back up a little bit.
Probably.
When you go in and do stuff, what are you doing when you go in and put your hours in?
I look at cases, anything that's going on with kids that, you know, I'll take care of. Jimmy knows that I'm a call away if there's any rape cases or anything going on with kids, because I have a lot of training in that.
Okay.
They know that they can call me as far as that goes, but like I said, I mean, I've had a lot. This last year was a horrible year for me,
Sounds like
you
it.
know, and there was a lot of times that I didn't go out there.
Right.
But at no point in time did I ever go in and write on anything that, in fact, I was here.
And I know,
So-
I'm not questioning that at all.
If
Yeah.
somebody has signed my name or done anything like that, then
And that's what
we
we're
have a
trying.
problem.
That's what we're trying to get to. We're make sure that
Yeah.
that the hours that you put in, or you know that you worked, are accounted for.
Correct.
But the hours, you know, if you didn't work, and somebody's saying that you did put hours, or there are hours on there, and you weren't there, that's what's raising a big red flag for me.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm not accusing you of going
Right.
in there and putting the hours in, or saying, yeah, excuse me, I worked these hours when you really didn't. I don't
Right.
think that's the case at all.
Okay.
Not a bit. You know, so I think what's probably happened is, you know, somebody's put hours on there somewhere that if you didn't work it though, and they're putting the hours on there, that could be a problem. That could be an issue.
And I don't ever, if Jeff Vermilion's the one that's in charge of that now, like I said, I don't know 100%.
What does Jimmy do when it comes to any of the hours or anything else? Because I'm having a hard time finding like exactly what he does from everybody I've talked to, because I'm not really.
He used to sign our time cards.
Okay.
I know that, like, his name would be at the bottom of them,
Gotcha.
as far as that goes. Like I said, I don't think I've ever seen an auxiliary book.
Right.
I mean, I've never wrote any time down for my auxiliary. It's just an automatic, I think. You
Okay.
know, I haven't. I've never received a phone call. If this is Jeff Vermilion's job, I've never received a phone call stating, hey, you know, we're at the end of November. Did you work November?
Right.
Did you get your 16 in? Or, you know, I don't receive those phone calls. If I don't work 16 hours, I just don't work 16 hours.
Right.
There's never been any repercussion for not getting hours in.
But you've done that obviously throughout the year,
hell yeah,
not worked 16
I think I'm one
hours.
of the best officers out there.
Right.
I'd tell that to any of them. I think I'm better than Jimmy. That's my own personal
Sure.
opinion. I think I'm competent. I think when it comes to reports, I do the very best that I can do. Peggy told me yesterday, which she could just blow and smoke up my ass. I know how that reverse psychology bullcrap goes.
Mm-hmm.
But I've read your reports, and I hope when you have this baby and things are settled, I hope you please come back to us.
That's good.
You know, I hate Buckeye Lake.
Well, when I talked to her, she said she had a very pleasant conversation with you. So
Yeah, I
don't
have
know.
no issues.
Yeah,
with
I don't know if she was, but if she wasn't, blow smoke up your. I don't know, but she did say that
the
she had a very
issues that I
pleasant
have with
conversation.
Peggy aren't issues that I have.
Right.
They're things that are just that I hear that, you know, she hates Buckeye Lake, she wants
Sure.
to shut us down, she wants to get rid of Mayor's Court. If we get rid of Mayor's Court, then we have no money
Right.
to support the department. You know, we can't get ink from them, we can't get a box of pens from them. You know, now our cars are all shit, which
Right.
they are. I mean, I've driven a car and had the transmission go out. I've driven cars that had no brakes. I mean, to say that my safety is their number one out there, absolutely not.
Right.
I make $10 an hour. I started off making $10 an hour, and up until 2-3 years ago when I was a paid officer, I made $10 an hour.
Yeah.
I got dental and vision. They would not even give me medical.
That's a rough gig sometimes. I mean, that's for sure.
I mean, you know, of course I have issues, but I did what I had to do because I wanted to always keep a commission.
Right. All right. So let me do this real quick. So you haven't worked in 18, or have you?
I have not.
So
I found out I was pregnant on December the 11th.
okay. So no work in 18. What months in 17 did you not put in 16 hours?
I have no clue.
So would you say there are months that were in 16 that you didn't put in 16 hours?
There were
Or
months
17, I'm sorry.
It was always 16 that I knew of.
Right.
There are months that I would say I probably did not put a full 16 hours in.
Okay.
Correct.
You don't know what those might be though?
I have no clue.
Okay.
I really don't keep record of it.
Sure.
And I think that's because maybe it's the way Buckeye Lake's ran.
Right.
And it has ran off on me, and it's not a good thing. But Buckeye Lake's just been a little old down-home, little podunk police department
Sure.
where, you know, we go in, we work some hours, you know, we go home, you know.
Well, and hopefully, you know, this kind of opens some eyes up, this whole thing right now, and maybe there's some procedures that'll be corrected, or, you know, and then if that comes out of it, that's great, you know, but again, I said I have no horse in the race, and
Right.
I'm not taking anybody's side, I just have to figure out what's happening over
Right.
there, pull out the facts and go from
Exactly.
there, so.
I just don't want to hop on Facebook and see my name splattered that I'm
Sure.
a theft in office, because when
Right.
I'm not there, it's duly known through the chief that, you know, I'm not there.
Right,
Somebody's writing time down for me. I don't know how they do their administrative stuff.
okay.
I don't.
Have you ever seen anybody get time that they shouldn't have gotten?
Never.
Okay,
I really haven't.
all right,
But I don't get into that.
right,
I don't want to get into stuff that doesn't truly like hit right here with me, because it's not my business, and the less I know, the better off I am. I've learned that throughout the years. When
Yeah,
it doesn't
pretty
pertain
good.
to me, I don't want to know about it, and if I hear conversations that I think, oh shit, I excuse myself.
okay.
I've walked to the drive-through more times than I can count when shit started hitting the fan in that office.
Gotcha.
I mean, I've heard a lot of things. I know I've heard things about Ritter not being even in the village when he's on duty, getting paid. You know, hitting on the clerks at the Duke gas station and them filing complaints. You know, I've definitely heard all kinds of crap.
Now, you said you do reports very well, you pride yourself on your reports. In a situation like that, let's say hypothetically you went into the same situation Jimmy went into, you know, he got called over there, but he got a phone call, whatever, you know, went over there and that all happened. Would you generate a report for that incident?
Oh, hell, fuck yeah, I would.
Oh, is it?
Excuse my language.
Sorry? Is there any reason why maybe they didn't?
I didn't know that they didn't.
Yeah, there was no report, they didn't do a report on it. They did a use of force
A
piece of
little
paper,
card?
just a little, just a
Okay, so-
narrative, so yeah, that was the confusion on it, because I'm like. you
So that's
paused and-
automatic. This thing here is the little CR,
Mhm.
call record. We write it, that then gets transposed into the computer, and then it gets put on a little metal little hook, and that's been like throughout the years. And whatever happens to those, I don't know.
Mhm, okay.
But I know once, 2, 3, 4 months, or whatever, how long those sit there, they disappear. I don't know where they go. But so I would have put that I received this call, be it through the sheriff's department,
Right.
be it through somebody that knew me personally and had my personal cell phone, or the police department phone,
Mhm.
cell phone, whatever. And then, yeah, there would have been a full-blown report. I mean, I just fired my freaking weapon in someone's house. Even if that didn't happen,
Right,
I mean,
something like that, I mean, we would generate a report right away, obviously, but I didn't know if it was commonplace to not file a report or
No.
something like that, because, you know, it seems like a no-brainer to me, because that's just what we do, but
yeah, it
I
is a
don't
no-brainer.
know what other agencies do sometimes, and sometimes, you know, people do different things, but, okay.
And the only other thing that I'd heard about that was that Hebron came, but Hebron was there after the fact.
Yeah.
And once they got there, Jimmy told Vermillion and Ritter not to say anything
Right.
to them.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. And
So.
why would that be, do you think? I mean, they didn't, you know, there was nothing recovered, there was no bullet recovered or anything else either. You know, so, I mean, there are things in there that
I don't know.
could have been done differently, you know, could have, but,
I don't know if it was an OSHA factor.
yeah, sure.
My head's spinning and I'm adrenaline rush, and let's just collect ourselves before we start telling everybody else.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was I
Now,
just fucked up and let's just not say anything to anybody so us three can talk. I don't
Sure.
know.
now that, when you talked to Jimmy, you know, leading up to our interview, did he tell you anything to say, anything not to say, anything
No.
not to talk about, or
He
anything
did
like
not.
that?
He told me what he thought it was about,
Mhm.
and that what he thought his attorney thought it was about.
Okay.
But no, he did not tell me to say or anything, what not to say,
Okay.
nothing like that.
I agree. Okay. I don't really have a whole lot other than that. Is there anything that I forgot to ask you? Or anything you want to tell me?
I don't think so. I guess I will definitely keep better for my own self, I guess, with 8 unit hours. I just,
Might help, just in case in the future. I mean, it's not your job to keep
like I
track
said,
of
it's
the
just
hours,
been
but nobody really knows whose job it is.
a little Mayberry Police Department, and it was never a huge thing.
Gotcha.
It was a huge thing as far as if you're a paid officer,
Yeah,
to make sure those time cards, because those are going next door.
right.
But as far as 8 unit hours goes, I mean, there's like Jason Schilling, he doesn't work there anymore, but he was an officer for years for us and only did our training.
Yeah.
He never worked the road. I mean, got it. Shit, the department's getting free training, for a free person to train us.
Yeah.
I didn't think nothing of anything about it. You know, it's not my business really to think anything about it, because frankly, I don't care.
Yeah. Well, it seemed like a lot of people assumed that things were getting done that just weren't. You know, so I think everybody assumed somebody else was doing it, and therefore, you know, it kind of just
Right.
kind of fell. So, okay, cool. Well, that's all I got for you then. You know, quick and easy.
All right.
I appreciate you coming in.
No problem.
Thank you
No
very
problem.
much. I'll get you out of here. My multiple phones.
I know, I've got several myself. Hopefully the rain stops this week.
Yeah, I'm hoping. You just out there to the left.